folks, welcome back to Rule of Thumb. Today, first of all, let me apologize. My dishwasher is running in the background, so I apologize for the noise. But I decided to make Christmas jam because everybody else is, so why not? Heather over at the Needy Homesteader did a video on this. I will link you to hers. This is an homage to her on Christmas jam. And also to my friend Sharon, who makes prize-winning Christmas jam. So I thought I was going to take a crack at it myself. So I am making my own version of this based off of recipes that I saw online versus the low-sugar method of making jam that you find on a ball Pectin container. So I'm going to go through what I'm working with here, talk a little bit about the process, and then we'll get going. So the first thing I have, this is going to be a big batch of jam, okay? So this is 3 12-ounce packages of cranberries. Go through them, double check them, look for any good, bad, or otherwise. Give them a good rinse, okay? In this bowl here, I've got 2 16-ounce packages of frozen strawberries that I've thawed. I've left the juice in there. And I've got 2 15-ounce cans of dark, sweet cherries with the juice. Make sure if you use cherries in a can, strain out the liquid and double check your cherries because you will find, I found a stem in mine, you can find pits in them. So I strained the juice in here, then I went through the cherries and double checked those. I've got a cup of lemon juice. I've got a cup and a quarter of ball Pectin, and I've got 12 cups of sugar. And in this bowl, I have got 3/4 of a teaspoon of allspice, a full teaspoon, probably about 1.25 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons of ginger, 1.5 teaspoons of dried orange peel, and 1.5 teaspoons of dried lemon peel. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cranberries and my lemon juice into this big pot. Remember, when you're making jam, always have a bigger pot than what you think you're going to need, because jam expands when you add the sugar and when it's boiling, and you never want to be in too small of a pot because it could boil over on you. So, first thing I'm going to do is get my cranberries and my lemon juice into this pot and let the cranberries start to cook and start to break down. And when we get to the next step, I'll bring you folks back and let you know what we're doing. Okay, folks, welcome back. So you can see these cranberries have started to break up. That means they're soft enough to finish cooking the rest of the way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the fruit. I did add some of the liquid from the other fruit to the cranberries just to help it get going, because the cup of lemon juice wasn't quite enough. So I did that. So I'm adding the strawberries and the cherries in here. I'm adding my pectin in here. Get that stirred in. Okay. Get that good and incorporated. And I'm also going to add all of my spices in here and get those incorporated in. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this start to cook down a little bit here, because the other fruit cooled it down a little bit. So I'm going to let this start to cool down a little bit. Then I'm going to hit this with my immersion blender, because I want it to be not necessarily, oh man, those spices smell amazing. Woo. As I like to say, it's gonna be money. Oh, this is gonna be good. Anyways, sorry, squirrel. So I'm gonna let this start to cook down. I'm gonna hit it with the immersion blender. I don't want it to be 100% completely smooth, but I want it to be smooth-ish. Then I'm gonna let this cook until it comes to a rapid boil. That you can't stir down. So They call that a full rolling boil. And then I will add the sugar when it gets to that point. I'll add all of the sugar. I'll bring it back to a full rolling boil. I'm going to let it boil hard for 3 minutes. And then we should be ready to put it into the jar. But I'll bring you back at the point that I'm going to add the sugar and let you see what it looks like. Okay guys, welcome back. And we are at the stage where even when I'm stirring it, you can still see it bubbling. So it is ready for the sugar. So I've got 12 cups of sugar. Add it all at once and start stirring. So this is why you want to have a bigger than what you expected or what you think you're going to need pot, because this is the part where it could really start to bubble up and become a hazard. So, alright, I am going to keep stirring this. I'm going to bring it back to that full rolling boil. I'm going to let it boil for 3 minutes at that point, and then I will bring you folks back when we're ready to start putting this in the jar. Okay folks, welcome back. So, we brought this to a boil. We let it boil for 3 minutes. There is a little foam on the top of this, which you could eliminate by using a pat of butter. However, there's a possibility that some of this might end up going to our nephew, and he is allergic to dairy, so I just choose to live with a little foam. But I wanted you to know there is an option out there. So, I'm getting these in the jars here. These are 12-ounce jelly jars. And they are super old. They are no longer in production. Or at least nowhere that I can find them. I got them from a barn sale. We're going to fill this to 1/4 of an inch. Another drop in there. Okay. And then I've got a little vinegar here. I'm just going to make sure my room is clean here. See, there's jelly on there. I don't want anything to get in the way of our seal. And then we'll get a lid. I've got some green ones, just like Heather had. So I thought that was a good idea to use them on these. Go ahead and get ring on, fingertip tight. And this will go in my water bath canner. I have the Ball electric water bath canner, which I absolutely love. It makes life very easy when it comes to canning. I will link that down below if you want to take a look at that. I am going to go ahead and keep filling these jars and get them all in the canner. Bring my canner up to a full rolling boil. I'm going to process these for 15 minutes and then I will turn it off. Let it sit for another 5 minutes, and then I'll take these out and I'll bring you folks back and show you what they look like when they're all done. Alright guys, welcome back. I actually ended up getting 17 12-ounce jars out of that batch. So I was able to fit 12 in my water bath canner, and I went ahead and brought out my steam canner for the remaining 5 12-ounce jars. But I thought I would bring you back, show you guys what the finished product looks like up close and personal. The color on it is extraordinary. I mean, it is really a beautiful color. So, I'll show you another one here. I mean, first of all, I love these jars. They're just so cute. But the color of the jam and the flavor. I mean, I taste tested the jam once I finished jarring these up. And I have to tell you, I am going to agree with Heather on this, that this is probably one of the best jams I've ever made and ever tasted. So I strongly recommend you try this. Make it your own, as I did. Do some research, look at a couple different recipes, see what different people are doing, and make it your own. Oh, there's the timer on that. So this one is now. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to let this sit for 5 minutes, and then I will take the lid off of that and bring the last 5 jars out. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Come back and see us soon. And as always, I hope you had a great day.